z raised to 1 by 6. Z raised to 1 by 6 plus 1 or minus 1 into z raised to 1 by 6 plus 1 will be z raised to 1 by 6 the whole square minus, because a minus b square. Now z raised to 1 by 6 the whole square means what? This z raised to 2 by 6 minus 1. Z raised to 2 by 6 is z raised to 1 by 3. That means, coming in reverse order, this z raised to 1 by 3 minus 1, z raised to 1 by 3 minus 1 can be split as z raised to 1 by 6 minus 1 into z raised to 1 by 6 plus 1. Did you get it? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Divided by denominator is z raised to 1 by 6 minus 1. If you have this one, you can try inside. For understanding, you can try inside. Now what can be done? Z raised to 1 by 6 minus 1 cancels. Left out. Left out is limit z tends to 1, z raised to 1 by 6 plus 1. And for polynomial functions. Now directly substituting z is equal to 1. 1 raised to 1 by 6. This is 1 raised to anything is 1 only. So 1 plus 1. So 1 plus 1. So the answer is 2. Whenever we can substitute the value directly, someone who is in waiting room still now is? No one is in waiting room. Husayf?
Sir, I came.
You came, okay. Now, so 1 plus 1, 2. See, not this one, z raised to 1 by 6, z raised to 1 by 3 minus 1. We can break it as z raised to 1 by 6 minus 1, z raised to 1 by 6 plus 1. I think question number 11, I gave it as a homework. Did I give it as a homework?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Directly
sir.
substituting a plus b plus c divided by a, which is 1. Now coming to 12th one. Did we complete it? Now start doing 12th one. Limit x tends to minus 2. We read it in this way, and even we write also in this way. Limit x tends to minus 2 plus 1 by 2 divided by x plus 2. Naturally, the very first thing is directly substitute the value of x, minus 2. So 1 by minus 2, minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, 0 form. Again, this is 0 by 0 form. It is indeterminate form. If it is 0 by 0 form, what's the first task? What's the first thing to be done? To be checked? Can we simplify? Is it possible for simplification? If it is not possible, we'll think about any other method. Is it possible? Simplification? By seeing this expression, think it whether simplification is possible. Is it possible?
Yes, it is possible.
Yes. Numerator we can take the LCM. Taking LCM, it becomes 2 plus x, and even 2 plus x is there. So you'll see it. So simplified. Simplifying means x tends to minus 2. See, I'm taking LCM in numerator. This is 2x. Then this will be 2 plus x. The whole by denominator we have x plus 2. See, x plus 2 means we have x plus 2. It's a fraction, is it? X plus 2 divided by 1. It is understood. Now division by a fraction means multiplication by reciprocal. See, here 2 plus x by 2x. We have a numerator denominator. Here also we have a numerator and denominator. So division by a fraction means multiplication by reciprocal. So it is.
Sir, what's the denominator? In this one?
X plus 2. X plus 2 means x plus 2. Every number has a denominator.
Yes,
one,
sir.
right?
Yes.
So x plus 2, we have to consider it as x plus 2 divided by 1. So that is, actually we don't have write it, but that is why just keep in mind. Limit to minus 2, numerator 2 plus x divided by 2x. Fraction means 1 by x plus 2. For making this convenient, that's why I wrote divided by 1. X plus 2 means x plus 2 by 1. So multiplying by reciprocal 1 by x plus 2. Can be further simplified. What can be done? Hamza, leave it as fraction.
X plus 2 and 2 plus x will be cancelled.
X plus 2 and 2 plus x. X plus 2 and 2 plus x can be. X plus 2 and 2 plus x, it is same thing only. Left out. Left out is
1 by 2x.
limit x tends to minus 2, 1 by 2x. Now, whenever we get any expression, keep on checking while substituting whether we get the answer. If not, then only go for the option. Here we can directly substitute it by 2 into minus 2. So the answer is minus 1 by 4. Leave it as it is. No need of writing decimal. See that when we apply limit, then we don't write this limit extend. Here I didn't write limit extends to because we applied the limit. Applying limit means substituting the value. While substituting the value, no need of writing limit extends to this answer. This is question number 12.
Either be.
What happened?
Nothing, sir.
Okay. Again, Affan said, learn B5. How come he's there? I will note down those names so that. Yes, next one. Question number 13. Coming to question number 13. Limit x tends to 0. Sin ax by bx. Remember it, all trigonometric ratios, most of them, or trigonometric limits. In most of them, we use this formula, limit theta tends to 0. Again, people are coming in waiting room so that theta tends to 0, sine theta by theta. Sine theta by theta. This is 1. Here, you have to remember one thing. The angle of this sine, the angle of the sine must be equal to this denominator, same denominator, and that should tend to 0. At these 3 places, it should be same. So if it is sine of something, then the condition is that something should be here and also limit that something should tend to 0. Then only we can write as 1, whatever it may be. Here, if it is math, sine of math divided by math, and this math tends to 0, then it is 1. If so, here, is it in standard form?
No, sir.
No. What is the difference? To make it into standard form, in denominator, it should be the same angle AX. See, first of all, we can do one thing. This B is a constant. This you discussed earlier. Javasa might have discussed it. This B can be taken out. 1 by B, because constants can be taken out. X tends to 0. Sine X by X only. Constant can be taken out. Now, this is not in standard form. To make it into standard form, 1 by B, limit X tends to 0, sine X, this is the expression what we got. It is not in standard form. To make it into standard form, what do we need? Instead of this X, we need AX. So can we write one A here? We
No,
can.
sir.
Value will change. So to neutralize it, what to do?
Multiply the numerator.
Now, see, I divided and multiplied A. Why did I write one A here? Because our standard form is sine theta divided by theta. Now, this expression, is it in standard form? This expression means this one, is it in standard form?
No, sir.
No,
Because it
still
is x tends to 0.
so here it should be
Ax.
Ax tends to 0. And we can write here as definitely if x tends to 0, then Ax tends to 0 is right. If x tends to 0, definitely Ax also tends to 0. Now this is the standard form. Limit theta tends to 0, sine c, the angle of sine, the denominator, and that same thing tends to 0. So this we can write it as 1 by b into 1 into a. Reason, limit theta tends to 0, sine theta by theta is 1. So the answer is A by B. Remember it, for all trigonometric limits, in most of the occasion we use the sign. When we use this trigonometric limit, the formula, standard formula, make sure that the angle for sine is same thing is coming in denominator also that same quantity tends to 0. If not, make necessary arrangements, adjustments. Adjustments means multiplying and dividing by the same number. And again, write that if as x tends to 0, x also tends to 0. Did you get it? You can see that all those constants, this is algebra of limits. Javed might have discussed it. Constants, all constants can be taken out. Similarly, product of two functions, we can apply limits separately. Quotient, numerator and denominator, we can apply separately. I hope you have completed. Now come to 14th one.
Sir, can you explain this one once again?
This one, sine, the question is sine ax by bx. See, our standard formula is limit sine of anything, our also I said, our standard formula is sine of a, then the same thing should be here. Also, that limit, that same thing tends to 0. What it comes here? If it is x here, here also x, here also x. Instead of x, if it is some phi, here also phi, here also phi. That's it. So in our question, here it is x. So here also it should be x, here also it should be x. Then only this becomes 1. So to make ax, see here, ax, here only x. So to make it ax, I gave one a here. But we cannot get a alone here in denominator. To neutralize it, a multiplied. That means I multiplied and divided with a. So that the quantity remains same. And here also, as x tends to 0, x tends to 0 to make it into standard form. Now this expression, this is the standard form, which is 1. Left out is a here. So yeah, baby.
Yes,
Got it?
sir.
Next one, 41. Fourteenth one. Limit x tends to 0. What's your doubt? Doubt. Suleiman, we will answer it later on. Text me personally. Text me personally. We will discuss it. A limit x tends to 0. Sine ax by sine bx. See that our standard form, sine theta by theta. So we need, so what we can do, limit x tends to 0. Sine x by x. I gave one extra x, is it? No, first I will write in this one. Wait. We have x tends to 0. Just listen here, do it later on. We have a numerator sine x and denominator. What I'm doing, I'm dividing it by x. So naturally, multiply by x, is it? This can be done. multiplying, dividing. Here, I am dividing it with bx, multiplying with bx. Did you get it? Numerator, here I gave
Yes,
ax, numerator is ax. Now, this x and x can be cancelled. This a and b are constants. So that a by b I took it out. Then I applied limit sine ax by here. What should be the limit?
X.
Ax tends to 0 divided by limit bx tends to 0 sine bx by bx. See, I applied limit numerator and denominator separately because even product also, some product quotient, whatever it may be, we can apply limit separately. Here, right hand side, as x tends to 0, ax tends to 0 and bx tends to 0. This is a by b into 1. Reason? What is the reason?
Sine theta by theta is equal to 1.
Theta tends to 0. Sine theta by theta is 1. Remember it. Whatever the thing to be kept in mind, whatever may be the angle of sine, whatever may be the angle of sine, the same thing should be there in denominator and the same thing tends to 0. Then only that expression becomes 1. So here we had sine ax and sine bx. So sine ax, we need the same ax in denominator. So we gave out the ax in denominator. But here bx and bx. So x cancel from here. Remaining this constants a by b is taken out. A by b. Baby. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Completed. Next one. 15. That's a good one. Only 3 minutes we have. No. 15. Do one thing. 15 we'll do tomorrow. 16th one. Let me see. 16th one. Do it and give me the answer. 15th one we'll do tomorrow. It takes 0 cos x by pi minus x. Do it and the hint is don't think too much. If you are thinking too much, you will get complicated. Things will get complicated. Give me the answer.
Sir, 1 by pi.
So 1 by pi minus x. So
Sir,
1 by pi minus
This one,
pi.
directly 1 by pi. Why? Directly substitute it. you may go for substitution, simplification, cos x, they will multiply by 1 minus cos, 1 plus cos sine. Some of you may try to change in terms of sine. No need. Directly substituting cos 0. See, the very first thing, pi minus 0. Cos 0 is 1. 1 by pi, that's it. Whenever we get a question for evaluating limit, the very first directly substitute and check it whether we get the answer. Check it. Otherwise, if it is not, if it is 0 by 0 form, then we need to go for some calculations. Okay, 15, we have 1 minute left. 15th one, we'll try. We will start. 15th one, limit x tends to pi sine pi minus x. Pi minus x pi to pi minus x. Give a hint. 1 by pi can be taken out. Limit x tends to pi sine pi minus x. Is it the standard form?
Because
Is it standard form?
x not tends to
So
0.
how to make it in standard form? One small adjustment.
X tends to pi minus x.
Is it extends to our standard form? Our standard form sine theta by theta, and that theta has